brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Hope this is finding you and yours doing well this weekend. My name is Petrilli here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode is pre-recorded. I'm recording with my band this weekend. We wanted to leave you with a really fun jam song. So we're going to be learning Up on Cripple Creek by the band. Have your electric or acoustic guitar in standard tuning. As always, you guys are enjoying these lessons. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Really does help the cause of the algorithm and all that good stuff. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the Fishman Fluence pickups, go ahead and click the link down below. So as always, you guys know I like to ask a question before we get started. So please do let me know where you're tuning in from. And let's see, how about your favorite live concert experience? And if there's a funny story attached to this, I want to know. So put it in the comments too. They're a blast to read. So electric or acoustic guitar in standard tuning. All right, so we're going to be learning a really, really fun one today. This one's going to be great. Do let me know where you're tuning in from and your favorite concert experience. Okay, without further ado, let's do this. Up on Cripple Creek by the band. Today. We're gonna have a blast with this. So we're gonna break down the intro, verse, and the chorus. Okay, very similar chords here, very beginner, intermediate friendly, really fun one. And then towards the end, I'm gonna throw in some little riffs and licks that are inspired by the last waltz performance. So stick around, it'll be really fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the intro here. It sounds like this. So, very like pentatonic box. Let me show you. So we're gonna do here, the notes are gonna be D to E. So your first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, hammer onto that E note, 7th fret of the A string. And then what you're gonna do, first finger is going to go on G, 5th fret of the D string. Let's do that a few times. So pretty straightforward there with those 3 notes. The next phrase, all we're gonna do, we're gonna keep those same 3 notes of D, E, and G, but from that G, we're gonna hammer onto A with our 3rd finger, okay? So that's gonna be on the 7th fret of the D string. Let's do that a few times. One more time. That's our intro. So on the original track, okay, those phrases 1 and 2 were repeated twice, okay? So we're gonna do that more just so we can get our fingers, okay, nice and warmed up before we play the song. All right, so here we go from the top intro. Phrase 1, phrase 2. Again. Once more. that's our intro. Pretty straightforward. And again, at the top, notice how I was being a little percussive. I don't have a drummer, but if I did, I'd play it a little straighter, so. I'm a percussive player. I can't help it. It's so fun. And this is such a cool, funky tune. So having said that, leading into the verse here, the chords are going to be A, D, and E, okay? So pretty simple chords. Now, this song has a lot of groove and a lot of pocket. Levon Helm in the back is just like, it's so great. Those of you who aren't familiar with the song, go and watch the Last Waltz version. It's incredible. There are many different ways that you can play the rhythm to this. You can be a little bit more subdued. You could be a bit more percussive. I will leave that up to you. So for this lesson, I'm showing you how I play this. I play this song live a lot in many different bands. This is such a fun one to play and a great one to have in your back pocket. I know many of you say that you want to get out and play it like open mics and at jams. This is a great one to know. Not many chords, lots of groove, really fun to sing, okay? So with this, I'm going to give you my version on how I do it. Watching Robbie, he's a bit more subdued when he was during the Last Waltz. You could see like some of those rhythmic hits are a little bit different. So I want you to find your pocket, and then I want you to play it how you like, okay? So, but I'm going to show you how to play the chords and how I like to do it. So we have A major, and it's played as a bar chord. Watching Robbie do it, that first A major was a bar chord. So we're going to do that too. We're going to get our first finger across the 5th fret of all 6 strings, just like this. So our tonal centers for A major, it's going to be A, C sharp, and E, okay? So with our 3rd finger, we're going to grab the E note. It's going to be on the 7th fret of the A string. Pinky finger plays our next A, which is going to be on the 5th fret of the D string. And then our 3rd finger is going to play C sharp. That's our 3rd. It's going to be on the 6th fret of the G string. Strum all 6 strings. Okay, and make sure too that that thumb, back of the neck. I have a strat here, and so it has like a skunk stripe. Place your thumb around the skunk stripe. And again, drop that wrist. It's really going to allow you to get a nice stretch of those fingers and then a good pressure points when you're hitting on those strings. Okay, so just a couple tips there. So how I like to do it is like this. That's how I like to strum it. So a little bit more on the percussive side. If you want to just kind of lay it back. So see what I mean? Many different ways that you could fool around with the pocket and the timing and all of that, but I like to play it a little more percussive. So from there, we're going to go to a D chord. So watching the Last Waltz, to the best of my eyes and ears, it seems like Robbie was playing it like this. So first finger across the 7th fret of the D string, G string, and B string. This is a D chord. It's a D triad. And if we're being even more specific, it's a 2nd inversion triad, meaning that the 5th is in the root. Don't worry. Not as scary as you think. All that means is instead of going D, F sharp, A, we just kind of switch the order so that the 5th is first. So in this case, A is the 5th and it's first, okay? That's all it is. All 3 of the notes, they're all still there. They're just in a different order. So first finger across the 7th fret of the D string, G string, and B string, the notes we were talking about. Okay, it's going to be A, it's going to be D, and then it's going to be F sharp. So all of our tonal centers, they're all there, okay? So when you're doing this chord, and again, you kind of want to strum it, but you don't want to do that. That's a completely different chord. You don't want to hit the high E string. You don't want to hit the low E string. That's going to sound a little weird. So be mindful, have a suppleness in your wrist, and just target those 3 strings, okay? If you happen to hit the A string, not the end of the world, by the way. I don't know why I'm whispering. It is the 5th, so it's fine. Okay, but just try to keep it nice and tight. Okay, nice loose fingers here, and a little bit of suppleness in that wrist, and you are good to go, okay? So from there, we're going to go to an A chord. We're going to go back to that bar chord. But this time, we're going to split the bar with D major. And not just D major, but it looks like a D over A. Okay, so we've got A major, all that D over A is. From this A major bar chord position, okay, you're going to do this. Check it out. see my third finger? See how it's playing the 7th fret of the D string, G string, and B string? That's that triad we played a moment ago, okay? But what's happening here is we have our root of D, and then we have our 5th of A, which our first finger is playing on the 5th fret of the E string. See how it gives that D major chord a little more oomph when we add that 5th? And I'm using a little bit more theory today. I know many of you like it. I'm like, this is a perfect song to talk about some of this stuff. Gives it a little more oomph, doesn't it? Kind of cool. Okay, so from there, that's that D over A. I see it a bunch of different times on the waltz, or the last waltz rather. And then we're gonna go to an E major. So it looks like it's gripped in this way too. So the E major, we're going back to that second inversion triad. First finger this time on the 9th fret of the D string, G string, and B string. Okay, so we have the B note here, we have E, and we have G sharp. Now I'll leave it up to you. If you want to play it as a bar chord, totally fine. And then you have your E here. Third finger is playing that triad, and then there's your E at the 7th fret of the A string. You could totally do that too. Is it going to sound great? Absolutely. It's going to sound wonderful. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play through that part because that's our verse. I will call out the chords, okay? And then we'll go on to the chorus. And again, don't forget to click that thumbs up button. It really does help the cause. So here we go. Here's our verse. A. D. Back to A. D over A. To E. Let's do that again. A. D. A. D. Slide it up to E. One more time. Tell you where you wanna go. Okay, little context with some vocals. One more time. That's the verse. So again, I'm playing this a little more percussively. You want to lay back, no problem. No problem. It's all good. Okay? So that's what's happening there. Let's go ahead and look at the chorus. So with the chorus, I noticed that he does now the open versions of these chords. So the chorus chords is going to be A to D to E to F sharp minor to G major. Okay? And that's going to sound like this. I'll play it a little bit slower and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so very similar chords, right? We have that F sharp minor and the G major, okay, but that's towards the end. But the A, D, and E are exactly the same. We're just playing them as open chords. Again, really wonderful here. We're building our chordal syntax. We're playing A majors and D majors and E majors in different ways in this song. So we have our A major here. Here's how I like to play it. There are a gazillion ways to play it here. This is how I like to do it. Okay, second, third, and fourth finger. We're going to place them second finger, 2nd fret of the D string E. Third finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the G string A, and then our pinky finger C sharp, 2nd fret of the B string. Okay? Strum from the A string downward. That's how the chord should sound. And again, make sure we get those nice open strings. It gives a really cool lift, and I'll A-B it with the verse in a little bit so you can see what that does. Really great sonically. So we have A. Then from there, we're going to go to D major. So first 3 fingers, okay, first finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the G string A. Your 2nd finger, F sharp, okay, 2nd fret of the high E string. 3rd finger is going to go on the D note, 3rd fret of the B string. Strum from the D string downward. Okay, and from there, we're going to go to E major. So again, first 3 fingers. First finger, placing that on the G sharp, first fret of the G string. We have our second finger here, so that's going to go on our B note, second fret of the A string, third finger, second fret of the D string, E. Strum all 6 strings. Let's go through those first 3 chorus chords. Here we go. A. So from there, we're going to go to an F sharp minor to a G major. So from watching The Last Waltz, this is what I'm fairly certain is how they did it. So first finger across the second fret of the G string, B string, and the high E string. So that's our F sharp minor triad right there. So we have an F sharp, we have an A, we have a C sharp, a 1, flat 3, and 5. They're all there. Okay, so those are the building blocks of an F sharp minor. From there, we're going to add another F sharp here, so that's going to be on the 4th fret of the D string. Now, looked like there was some overhang of the thumb. You can include that if you want, not necessary. If you don't want to or can't do it yet, no problem. So like that, or okay, up to you. So from there, something kind of neat. We're going to go to a G major. So I don't want you to change this too much, because it's just going to require a slight little slide, okay? Watch this. So we have F sharp minor, and we know that F sharp and G are a half step apart, so for us guitar players, it's going to be 1 fret. So I want you to move this whole shape up 1 fret, okay? We're going to bring this first finger down. It's only pressing on the 3rd fret of the B string and the 3rd fret of that high E string, okay? We're going to make room for that second finger on the 4th fret of the G string. It's going to be a B note, B as in boy. G, B, and D, that's what builds a G major. We have all those notes there. So from F sharp minor, I'll move that my second finger out of the way so you can see that. Then to G, move the first finger down, still want to pinch, bring the second finger to the 4th fret. Okay, so just like that. So for context with the A chord, okay, with a little vocal, so. Up on Cripple Creek. I don't have to speak. Pretty neat, right? And if you want to use that and have that low G note with your thumb on the 3rd fret of the E string, you could totally do that, okay? So for context, let's go ahead and do the first 3 parts. So let's do our intro, verse, and chorus. Here we go. Verse. Repeat that. Chorus. So see how that chorus really opens up with those open strings versus the really tight and all of those high notes that we have in the verses. So listen to the sonic difference. then goes right into that verse. Really cool, right? See how it lifts? And we're not using a ton of chords. It's really, really beautiful stuff. So that's what's happening there. That's the entire song. So it is that intro, verse, and chorus, repeat, 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 repeat. Really great. So what I'm going to do here for the last 10 minutes or so of this lesson is I'm going to give you some ideas of little riffs inspired by the last waltz, okay? Not note for note, but inspired by. I want you to try and, again, this is such a great jam song. Have fun with this. Have fun with this. So, some inspired by riffs. We're going to look at some that we find in the verse, and then some that are maybe included in a chorus or two. But you can throw all of these in because a lot of the chorus is the same. So, check it out. So, what we have here, I'll play through a pass from A to D. Notice this riff and what it does. Add some beautiful movement. So, let's play through this. We're live, folks, we're live. What we're gonna do here, so we have that D chord. So, really great little riff. What we're gonna do, third finger, okay? Sliding from the 7th fret of the A string to the 9th, E to F sharp. Then we're gonna go backwards, F sharp, E to D, back to our A, okay? Just like that. Let's play through that slowly. To our A chord. Let's do it a few more times here. Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. Let's do it again. One more time. A little faster. And that's something too. Sometimes I like to grab that with my 4th finger. So I'll leave it up to you. 4th or 3rd finger, both will work. Okay, so a fun little thing you could use with D major, really neat there. So when we get to E, and let me play this one the way that I intended, it's gonna sound like this. So we've got, there it is. That was close-ish, it's close-ish. Let me show you how to do this. So we're gonna do, get that 3rd finger. Okay, so this is being played over an E major. Okay. 3rd finger is going to go with the 9th fret, okay, of that D string, which is a B note. Slide up 1 fret to make it a C sharp. Then play the E note, okay, so 9th fret of the G string. So just like that. And we're going to do 2 bends at that 11th fret of the G string, which would be an F sharp. Resolve back on that E, 9th fret. Let's do this a few times. And notice when I'm doing those bends, I'm using the help of my 1st and 2nd finger to help me get that pitch, okay? So I encourage you, they're there, use them. Okay, a similar walk down that we did in the line previously, 11th fret, D string to 9th to 7th. So if we are talking notes, C sharp, B to A, again. One more time. Okay, pretty cool stuff. So let's do those again. We're going to do it a little slower from the top. do those again with the context of the chords. A, D over A, E. One more time. And mess around with it. Maybe change the order, those notes. With it. Have fun with it. This is a fun song. So feel free to oh, well, let me try this and let me try this. So let me give you two more examples of a line that you can use and kind of do a variation of it. So this would be played over an E chord. And this is one that I saw in the last waltz. Let's see, at the 1 minute 7 second mark. Okay, so again, these really beautiful little melodic lines that are just there in their little pockets, and they arrive and then they go. Really beautiful. So let me show you how to play this one. So what we've got, okay, third finger on that 9th fret of the G string, E. First finger is going to go on the F sharp, 7th fret of the B string. Third finger plays A, 10th fret of the B string. Let's just do that for right now. One more time. From there, get that third finger, 12th fret of the B string, bend it 3 times. Or twice, rather. Bring it back to true to that B note, 12th fret of the B string. Resolve at A, 10th fret. One more time. And you could kind of slide that A note back or give it a little sustain. I'll leave it up to you. So that's one line, okay? It's fairly close to what Robbie's doing. Right, and then goes back into that verse. However, there's a cool kind of bluesy variation that you can do on that. So, instead of ending the phrase on that A right away, we'll get back to it later, grab the F sharp now. We're going to extend this. Grab the F sharp at the 11th fret. So here it is in context. Now to end the phrase. Give me a nice good bend here at the B string, 12th fret. And then resolve at A there. So see what we do? Just add just a little bit more. Gives it a cool variation. Here we go. If we play it a little faster, variation. And even notice there with those variations, messing around with the bends. Again, feel free, have fun with this. We play guitar because it's fun. It's just so much good stuff. And again, there's so much more little licks. I encourage you, watch the last waltz. Get some more. I'm leaving you with a little homework, I guess. But yeah, just such fun stuff. A really great song that seems very simple, but there is so much going on. And again, chordal syntax is absolutely fantastic in this song. So we're learning how to not only play bar or chords that live here, but bar chords over here, or maybe different versions of D major and E major. A great song. So as always, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. This is such a fun song. I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these week after week. And most certainly, I want to thank all of you. It is such a blast hanging out with you guys week after week. Have fun with this one. Play lots of music. And yeah, it's just such a blast. Thank you.